Hello guys, welcome to another episode here on Fitness, Food, and Finance, where we are trying to help you lay a firm foundation in those three things so that you can have a great life now as well as when you're 90. Okay, so today is the 12th, and life is, uniquely awesome and is not always what's intended. You have a plan, and what did Mike Tyson say? No plan survives getting punched in the face. So, things are crazy. And I don't know, it just makes it interesting, but also makes it kind of tough. So first off, it's a Thursday. I was trying to do these on Monday to get closer to the date when I usually release them on a Tuesday, but this is what I've got, right? And thank you, Nick. So he's picking up some classes I was supposed to have tomorrow on Friday, and I'm not able to do that. So Olivia's birthday is on 9/11, and she wanted me to come down on 9/12 to come see her. That turned into, it's awesome. When your daughter wants you to see her in college, you go. And it turned into a fiasco. As I was leaving, they were trying to tow my truck. I'm like, really? Well, here's some cash. Can we make it go away? And the guy's like, cash, yeah. So don't forget to bring cash with you. Put it in your pocket. So the episode today, though, is going to be about my journey on losing 40 pounds. Well, I suppose it's 30 pounds, but it's 40 pounds overall. And to tell you what I did. And the big push for that is we've got this nutrition challenge coming up. Don't be like me and do really stupid stuff. Instead, have a coach or a mentor guide you along the way. So I'm going to tell you about my stupid journey. All right. So, and then of course, some other fun stuff that happened was, as you guys know, Evan is getting through a pretty big GI disorder. It could be Crohn's, could be something. But my family said, hey, you know what you should do if he's using the bathroom a lot is get a bidet. I'm like, hell yeah, I should get a bidet. So we went up there and installed that. And some other medicine of his came in. And anyway, it's just adds to the crazy. And among that, Levi is pledging, what is he pledging? Theta Chi up there at UGA. And he's turning into a good little leader, but his desire to help everyone, sorry, buddy, I gave that to you. And his desire to have things work and people to stay, pledges don't always make it, has caused him to not get much sleep. So he was under the gun. He had, his car died and his computer died. And he's like, Dad, I just need some help. So anyway, it's been interesting. A very interesting week. So thank you, Nick, for taking those classes. Thank you guys for being along the journey, and thanks for the text. Of course, also, you probably know David Wallace went in to get his shoulder fixed up. So everyone throw out prayers to him and text him. He should be back in the gym, maybe not next week, but the week after, at least doing some coaching. All right, so let's jump into this bad boy. So as you guys know, you can follow us here if you're watching this, and we have a Facebook page. It's Andy McCann 42. If you're listening, and of course we've got this as a podcast, so it comes out as both. And the story I want to tell you today is how I went from basically 185 pounds twice down to about 155 pounds right now. So I have used this tool, Net Diary, or my Net Diary, to kind of get an idea of what I do eat. So Levi challenged me last year to record with him so we can actually track what we're doing. And I said, yeah, sure, whatever, let's do this thing. I'm always surprised at the amount of learning I get from writing it down, from tracking it in a tool. And that's part of what's going to happen in this nutrition Kickstarter, this challenge we're going to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys should participate. There will be some measuring as well. That'll be unique and different for you guys. You're going to see how much the rating system that they give you is off when you actually try to measure your food. Okay, so where does the journey start? Let me pause this and get all the web pages loaded. First, let me tell you that we do have the challenge coming up. It'll start the 21st. There's a QR code at the gym, or just email me and say I'm interested. You don't have to be a member. It does cost more if you're not a member, so that's a discount to members. But yeah, let me know and we'll get you in there. If it ends up being just like 3 of us, they'll turn it into something different. If there's a whole bunch of us, the plan is it's us versus them, and there's 4 other gyms participating. So it should be kind of fun. The challenges are do-based, get these things done, not weight-based. So don't worry about that. All right, so we've already gone through a podcast on that. It's going to be run by Healthy Steps Nutrition Smart and Simple, Smart and Simple Nutrition, and they'll be taking care of us. Okay, so my journey begins back at Georgia Tech, and this is going to go fast, but I need you to have context. So I went to Georgia Tech, and I went there mostly for my degree, but also they said, yeah, you can pole vault for us. So I did this stupid thing right there, jumping through the air, pole vaulting, and I had a coach say, hey, if you didn't drink soda or carbonation, you could run better. I'm like, really? All right, I'm into that. And then they also said, so here's the soda. Don't drink soda. You can run better. I'm like, all right, I'll give that a shot. And I thought, well, while I'm at it, why don't I cut out sweet tea? And I drank a lot of sweet tea. We would make nuclear tea. So we would take the Hobart, that's the dishwashing thingy-majigger in the back, and we would spray the hot water into the igloo. And then we would put sugar in it first, so let that super saturate. And so the sugar crystals would float to the bottom. Then throw the tea bags in. There's these really big tea bags we'd use, and we'd stir it up. We'd make a couple of those, and I would drink that. And it was mostly syrup more than tea, but that's what I did. So this is when I experienced my first 10-pound loss. I want to say at that time, I was probably 175. I don't know, it was a long time ago. I mean, it's back in like 1992, somewhere in there. And I want to say I went from 175 to 165. And it was a staggering quick drop. So not drinking sugar anymore, I just went cold turkey. And I would recommend you guys never do what I do in this cold turkey stuff. But I go cold turkey and I have this weird ability to be like, yeah, okay, whatever, I'm fine with that. Let's just do it. So I did. I jumped on a scale about a week or two later. I had lost 10 pounds. And you could see it from my love handles. And I was in pretty good shape. I was running track. And I was at Georgia Tech, which is not great shape. But I lost some 10 pounds just from not drinking sugar. Would I recommend you guys not drinking sugar? Yes, that'd be my first easy step. Don't drink sugar. Then I thought to myself later on, much later on in life, you know what? Milk does not do me right. I should probably try to give that up to see what happens. So the weird thing is, it stopped my stomach cramping, which then also stopped me from farting so much. So if you're gassing a lot, could be your milk. You could be lactose intolerant. So milk was the next thing I gave up. Now, again, I ate cheese. I didn't do ice cream. I never really was a big fan of ice cream thanks to bad habits from, or maybe good, I don't know, from wrestling back in high school. But I just didn't do ice cream. So gave up milk and really just drank water for the most part. So my weight stayed about the same. I think at this point I'm still around the 165, 175 range. And then I find CrossFit. And I'm like, hey, this is really dumb. I should do this. So this is about 2006 or 7 when Eric Richards introduced me to CrossFit. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to do this thing. Now, the important part here was I was exercising and moving, which is great, but I found the zone diet. The zone diet did absolutely nothing for me in terms of weight, but it did make me move like a champ. I don't think I felt better on any other plan of eating than I did on Dr. Sears's zone diet, which is basically macros, just dumbified for us, idiots that are trying to work out. And it was pretty good, but it was really hard to maintain. I think around that time, when I started pulling out some of the carbs and adding more fat, my body fat dropped tremendously. But I still think I was around the 165 range. Probably this is me doing, so this is some CrossFit stuff right here. This is me doing, there it is. Me doing oh no, it's not going to hit it. We did Grace recently. No, it was Isabel because it was snatches. So you can see a 50-year-old man doing some cool stuff. All right. So along comes a bet from my wife. And this is where things kind of went weird. We were sitting down one day at, was New Year's? I don't know. It was a long time ago. It was probably like 15 plus years ago. And we got to talking anyway. For whatever reason, we decided, you know what we should do? We should just give up sugar for a year and see what happens. So as soon as we said it, she had an uncontrollable urge to eat chocolate. So she did not really want or end up doing this, but I did. I made it for about a year and a half, and I did lose 10 more pounds. So this was okay. I was still around the 165 mark, so I guess I was at 175 before. And the bad news is I rebounded pretty hardcore, and so this is Adrian Bosman saying no rep. I rebounded bad, so I made it about a year and a half, and it was just a bet. It was a dare. And when I went off of that, I discovered Chick-fil-A, they would give you a half dozen warmed up cookies and a milkshake. They didn't care who was in the car. So I went full ham on eating sugar and grains, and I puffed up to about 185. So I had already lost 10 pounds twice, and now I'm 185 pounds. I'm like, okay, this is not good. I need to do something again. So my eating is off the charts. I'm just all over the place. I don't have anyone coaching me. And I even had nutrition coaches in the gym. And I was like, I'm too good for that. I don't need it. Little did I know. Actually, I knew. I just didn't really care that much for some reason. So my vivid picture for later on is that I'm healthy and fit enough to coach my kids' kids in soccer. Part of that is movement. The other part is actually nutrition. It's a big part of it. Anyway, I went to Great Wolf Lodge with 2 of my kids, and we were eating, in quotes, at their food court. Again, food, I mean, it wasn't food, it was entertainment. And I decided right then and there, eating some of that food, I'm going to give up sugar. Not just sugar, but I'm going to give up all the various types of sugar. So there's, I can't even say some of these names that I pulled up, the various sweeteners. The first one I can't pronounce, some sort of potassium, aspartame, cyclamate, I don't even know, saccharin, sucralose, stevia, sorbitol, xylitol, mannitol, lactitol, I don't know, isomalt. There's maple syrup, palm sugar, cane sugar, flavored sugar, honey. I mean, even honey. I gave that up too. So I gave all of it up. And what I found was I couldn't defeat it without punching it in the face with some other taste. So I started adding in olives and pickles and all that. What I really found for me is I needed to get rid of grains. So yeah, in order to get rid of sugar, I eliminated all the grains from my life. So when we went to, Cracker Barrel, I wanted pancakes, but I can't have pancakes without syrup. So I had to get rid of grains in order for me to get rid of sugar. I don't recommend you guys doing this at all. I'm just telling you the dumbass things I did. But when I did do this from eliminating sugar, I lost about 10 pounds. When I eliminated the grains, I lost another 10 pounds. I also had to eliminate alcohol because, alcohol turns to sugar. So I'm not against alcohol. I just haven't had it in a very long time. One day I'll go back, but alcohol comes from grains usually and it's distilled. And when you convert alcohol in your body, it converts to sugar. So I just had to give all that up too. Weirdly, the alcohol wasn't tough, but I will tell you this. I had a distended stomach. There was muscles, but it was pushed out. And when I got rid of the grains, even the grains that we made our own, so we made our own bread. So we went with the bread wreckers, we ground up the bread, and we made our own bread. So it was totally fresh, all good for you. I still had grain gut. I still had that large distended tummy. So from the sugar and the grains, I lost 10 and then another 10 pounds. It was a process. It took some time. This is it was probably, since I had already done it, I kind of knew the tricks a little bit, but I would say it was probably like a 2-year process to really get rid of everything. Cause did you know that some mustards have brown sugar in it? So it's just a discovery process. And no, I didn't cry when I broke a streak and I ate some sugar or ate some bread. It didn't matter. Streaks are stupid. I hate those. Just go and add steps. You want to do things all the time and accumulate the steps, not keep a streak. Streaks are dumb. So I accumulated the steps. I lost my grain gut. And you could see my ab. Well, you could have seen them before, but it was even more obvious, right? So when I did that, I lost the other 10 pounds. So now I'm about I think I was about 165 at this point, and I've been hovering at 165 for about the last 10 years. So I just did something recently that's going to drop me another 10 pounds. We'll get to that in a second. The thing I want you guys to think about is I have not really fought weight. I've been very active and I've been adjusting my food, but the food has taken me about 20 years to kind of figure out because I just wouldn't hire a coach. That's just dumb. I don't know why I didn't do that. I mean, I even preached to people to do it, but my weight was okay. And I knew enough, right? I listened to a lot of stuff too. I think one of the best things you could ever do to learn something better is to teach it. The other one is to hire a mentor to tell you where you're going astray. So I have jumped into various programs since then with Levi, with Smart and Simple Nutrition, and learned some things. I'm also learning something right now. Okay, so then we get to recently. Evan gets diagnosed with some sort of thing going on in his stomach. They say, hey, it kind of looks like Crohn's, but not really because it's in the wrong spot, but it's definitely not the other thing because it's not all over the place. So we don't really know. Evan said, instead of taking that medicine they're talking about, that 50% of the time it works, 50% of the time you end up extracting your colon, he said, let me try food because like you, Dad, I can resist eating food. Now, he has said the sugar temptation is pretty hardcore, but he is still eating this thing. We're doing the lion diet, which is basically carnivore diet, except extreme. So we've relaxed it a little bit, and I'm just following along with him because one is better than two, and he has somebody to commiserate when he's like, this sucks. I'm like, hey, I'm doing it with you. So basically you eat salt, meat, ruminant meat, and water. So ruminant meat is like cow, sheep, goat, elk, moose, I guess. I suppose it could be horse, but I'm not going to eat a horse, so that's out. So any of that red ruminant meat. And we did this for about 4 weeks, and then he started to try to add stuff back in. He took my scale to college, so I didn't really know what my weight was until recently. So in the ruminant meat, here's the idea that I've got behind it. I don't know if it's actually what's going on. I'm about to say I'm not a scientist. I'm an engineer, so I could actually probably go and figure this thing out. But I don't really want to. I don't really care. I just think that if the animal eats the glyphosate, the Roundup, and then processes it down and then either has an egg or has its body, it's less on you. So I'm not eating a plant that was literally sprayed with it and then I'm eating it off the plant. I'm eating something that at least did some sort of metabolizing. Yeah, I get it. It may still be in the fat. I don't know. Maybe its stomach gets hot enough that it breaks it down. I don't know. But I will tell you this. following this, when I went up to Evan's dorm and we installed bidet so that because, I mean, hey, when you have a stomach issue, you're on the toilet a lot and that gets like painful, right? So my family said, why don't you do that thing that we do? You should put a little thing in there. You can order it on Amazon. It's like $40. And I'm like, I'll give it a shot. Best thing we've done. He is like, Dad, this is a dream come true. I'm no longer sore. This is great. But when I was up there, he has my scale. I jumped on the scale with the wrenches and my cell phone and keys and all that. I was down another 10 pounds, which probably means I'm down 15 pounds. So I think I've lost a total of 40 pounds. The highest I've ever been is 185, but I got there twice. And then I'm down to about 155, probably a little bit less. And it's really just eating like meat, salt, and drinking water. Now I do drink coffee and I do eat eggs, and he can add in cheese. So we add in some goat cheese or sheep's cheese, which has been pretty good. I've actually pretty enjoyed this. My daughter started doing, because she's seen what it's done for us. I am not telling you guys to do this. I'm actually warning you off. Do not do what I did. But I will say it's been nice not really worrying about my weight, right? And having energy. It is weird working out. The energy systems are different, and I have to get used to the fact of it burns differently. And in the first minute, I'm okay. After that, I feel like the struggle bus is real, especially the other day when we did all the squats and power cleans. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can make it. But I could see Justin working out beside me, and I'm like, okay, he's a little bit ahead, and that's about right. He's stronger. So I'm not doing terrible. It just feels terrible. Don't do what I did. Do something smarter. Do the smart things a little bit at a time rather than cold turkey stuff. This is where coaching and mentoring come into play. This is where doing things... Oh, this is actually a funny story. I got to tell you this. This is where doing something like the nutrition challenge we're going to be doing on the 21st of Saturday as a startup comes into play. You should do this. You should spend some time here. Your spouse should spend some time in here. Okay, so funny story. I got a guy, some of you will see this. There's a guy looking all sexy with his pants rolled up. He's on a boulder next to a stream. But the big part is you can see his abs and his muscles. I don't have that many muscles, but I do have some abs. So we have a miniature family reunion. We go to Camp Ocoee. One of my cousins is telling me the story. I'm going to tell it like it happened to her. She's relaying the story to me, and it's funny, but it's funnier to hear it from the kid's perspective. So I'm just going to tell it in first person, even though I heard it, afterwards. So we're at the dock, and Evan and I are sitting on the dock, and I decided to jump in the water. So I had to go get some life vests because they won't let you in the water if you're not in the right place because, it's a camp and they want people to drown and all that stuff, right? So smart on them. Kids should wear it. Adults should follow along. And so, yeah, I'm going to go get some vests. So I take my shirt off and I leave it on the deck, the big horseshoe deck. And I start walking up to go get the life vest, which is just up the way. It's not really hard to get to. And one of my cousin's daughters says, "Hey, Mom, something's wrong with that guy's or with Uncle Andy's stomach." And she looks at me and she's like, "Oh, baby, no, nothing's wrong with him. He just has muscles." So the fat had dropped off so much that this kid thought something was wrong. Well, this kid, my niece, my nephew, it was my niece, thought something was wrong with me, which is great. It's kind of like a humble brag or a polite dig. So I get it. So my stomach muscles aren't aligned. Like some people have a cool six pack. I have like this offset weird stomach. So like the muscles are like misaligned. So it does look weird. And I get what she was probably saying, like, hey, his stomach looks weird. The muscles are probably in the right place. But it is fascinating. From the mouth of children comes some honesty. So she said it looked weird, but it had a kind of a twofold effect. What I am telling you is what you eat matters. If you want your abs to show, you have to do something in the kitchen. If you want your muscles to show a bit more, you have to do something with what you eat. Probably the easiest thing is stop eating at places that have drive-through windows and stop drinking sugar. But this is what this Kickstarter program is all about. To give you, after 8 weeks, to give you habits you can walk away with and daily steps to do the thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Not, hey, you should give up everything except ruminant meat. That's just me. You definitely should not do what I did. I'm just doing this to support Evan. Although Evan said, "I think you like what we're doing." I said, "Actually, I kind of do." He said, "I think you're probably going to do this even when I'm done." I'm like, "I think I will. I actually really enjoy the ease of shopping at the grocery store because I just walk in, I go get meat, I get goat cheese and some eggs." So yeah, right now my chickens, I'm storing all the eggs to hatch more chickens because the hawks and the cats have decimated my little chick flock. So I can't eat my own eggs, dang it. Anyway, you guys should do this. It's going to be great. You should bring a friend or family member along. It's going to be awesome for them. They're going to learn a lot. It's not going to take that long. It's going to be super valuable. You should do this thing. All right. In other news, so we have that starting on the 21st. We got a little coaches gathering on the 28th. That's for you coaches. Hopefully you're listening to this. We do have an all gym gathering. I'm taking 30 people on October 12th to come to my house. It can be you and your family. So 30 of those people. Why 30? I've never done this at my house before. I have no idea how my toilets are going to react to this many people at the house. So I figured 30, I don't know, we'll just cut it off. Those that get the email, so you have to be subscribed to the Wodify emails again. You'll get an email, I think it's coming out maybe Saturday or Sunday again, so this will be the third time I've sent it. There's an Evite. You have to use the Evite. Click on that and register yourself. It'll cut off at 30 people. I want you and your family to come. We've got pool, we have swings, we have hot tub, we got chickens. I don't know what they're going to do with the chickens. We have farm implements of doom. We have a tractor. No, you're probably not going to ride the tractor. But we'll come out. I think I put it down from 4 to 8, so there'll be a grill time. I'll make some hamburgers and hot dogs or something. And basically just introduce yourself to, or your family to each other and have a little bit of fun. Have a community-driven thing that's not revolving around sweat. So that'll be on Saturday the 12th. And just for the members who are able to get to the Evite and to sign up. Then, of course, we've got Bring a Friend starting on October 14th. Alumni Week starting on December 2nd. And then we'll have a little Wodify gym owners thing on the 7th. Actually, if you're interested in starting a gym one day, or grabbing the torch from me in the year 2025, I would actually suggest coming to this because you're going to learn a lot about what gym owners struggle with and how to use the tool that we all have, Wodify, to kind of make these struggles go away. And then in January sometime, I will do the how to process a chicken. I promised Louis I would do this, so we will do it. It depends on how many roosters I have, and you're going to have to bring your own gear because I don't have enough to pass around. You really just need a chair, maybe a bucket, and then a really sharp small knife. And so the last thing that we started was Garage Fitness Online. You can find that on Facebook. You can click on the link. It should be in here somewhere. And it's for anybody of you guys out there in the ether that started your own basement or garage gym and just went off the track. So you're not willing to come back to the gym. I mean, really, come back to the gym. But you're not willing to or ready to or whatever, and you just want to do things on your own. Brandon Phillips is doing the programming, and he's got 4 different tracks. And we will be doing the hype and building community through this online platform. Using right now we're using Facebook and Wodify for the tracking. So why Facebook? Because man, don't let perfect be the enemy of done. Everyone can get on Facebook for free, so we're going to start there and we'll build it up from there, and we'll move over to something else someday. But we're just getting this thing started. Literally, I was allowed to publish it based on the legal and insurance guys on September 8th. So, and we're already kicking and rolling. So we're advertising it just a little bit of time because we've already found where we broke some stuff, and having too many people join at one time just breaks it even faster. So we're kind of doing a slow roll. Anyway, that's out there for you guys. All right. If you guys need help, if you're in the Woodstock area, come to the gym. If you're not, email me, andy@crossfitgarage.com. I am happy to help you. My goal is to help you lay a firm foundation in fitness, food, and finances so you can live a good life now as well as when you're 90. And you'll have hopefully you'll have the money to sustain the awesome longevity that you're going to get. All right, guys, that is it. Y'all take care, and I hope you lose your own 40 pounds, just not 2 or 3 times like I did.